coming up on the official Celtic FC podcast. Aidan and Euan from Scottish punk folk band Brògeal chat about the launch of their first album, and they perform live in the Celtic Park studio. Hello and welcome to the official Celtic FC podcast. I'm Matthew Campbell, and today I'm delighted to be joined by two members of Scottish punk folk band Brògeal. Aidan, Euan, it's brilliant to have you guys here with us. How are things?
Very well, man, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it wasn't I? Really wasn't.
Yeah, we had a wee little walk around the stadium there, a few photos taken. It's a superb place. I know you're a Celtic supporter yourself. We'll chat a little bit about that, but you know, it's an incredible place to just come out that tunnel, isn't it?
Walking out the tunnel, and you know, it hits different when it's all empty as well. You know, you can hear it all echoing about. You can feel the atmosphere in the place.
Yeah.
It's just, it's been a wonderful afternoon.
Absolutely. Well, listen, let's go straight into this because it's an exciting time for you guys. We'll chat a wee bit about, you know, the band, the sound of the band, because it is quite, you know, unique and it's a really punchy sort of sound that you guys got, and it's a exciting time for you as well because your first album is due out in October, Tuesday Paper Club. It's coming up, so we'll chat a wee bit about it. But Aidan, I'll come to yourself first. How did the band come about? You know, what's the sort of origin story of this group?
So Daniel and I met. Daniel's our singer. Mm-hmm. He and I met on the Falkirk St Mungo supporters bus. Yeah. Left for the Star Inn. And we, you know, it was all your old guys, everybody's dad knew each other. So me and him just kind of got to know each other, realised we were into kind of tunes, really, and the kind of culture of Celtic, more so than just going to the games. So we started a wee band, and it's just took grown legs for there, you know.
Yeah. He'll be obviously gutted that he can't be here today, obviously being a big Celtic supporter.
No, Daniel will be gutted he can't be here. We'll get him back.
Absolutely, sure. Absolutely. In terms of, you know, the sound, we're talking about, you know, the sound of your guys' music, and we're going to hear a little bit of that as well at the end of the podcast. You've been kind enough to agree to do a couple of songs. It's a sort of interesting blend. We're talking about punk, folk music, you know, for yourself, you, where does that come from? You know, like, did you just sort of stumble across that, or?
Well, it's like the band that they started when they first met, Daniel and that wee bit, was like a punk band, you know what I mean? So it was all electric guitars and kind of that old school rock kind of thing, you know what I mean? Just anything that hits kind of hard. And then when it changed more into a folk thing, I mean, obviously that's known as being quiet and relaxed and that, and we kind of combined the two almost. Idea of being that kind of rock punk kind of band with the like more traditional like sounds, you know what I mean? So like, you mean, I always mention, like, you can't even say it without mentioning bands like the Pogues and all that stuff. Bands that have done that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we cover like a lot of ground. You can be quite relaxed, as we will be today. I don't want to be jumping about in this room, but you know, it's quite an exciting thing to play. You know, energetic.
It's just the thing with folk and punk music is that they're largely the same kind of thing, just with a different sound. Do you know what I mean? All your old folk songs about how miserable life is, and you know, it's just stories of what people got up to in their day-to-day life, and that is what punk music is as well. Do you know what I mean? It's real stories. So all our tunes are all about stuff we got up to in Falkirk growing up and all that kind of stuff, you know. It just feels kind of natural.
Yeah, of course.
The sound, you know.
I understand, but what I find interesting, obviously you've brought in a couple of the instruments today. We've got I've seen the banjo already. We've got the stunning guitar as well that you've brought. There's a tin whistle kicking about in here as well somewhere. I mean, it's a sort of broad church in terms of the instruments that you cover. I mean, how many sort of instruments do you guys play? Because you're a 5-piece, so it must be quite
we all play different things. But even Sam in the band who plays accordion, like his thing is like he's a dual instrumentalist. At our gig he'll play an accordion and then a bouzouki, like an Irish bouzouki. It's like the long mandolin, you know, like it's tuned kind of more like a guitar. So you'll play them, you know what I mean? And every time you meet a sound guy or that trying to figure out how to record you, he's like, what's that and what's that? You know what I mean? We've had them saying, we'll just get the harmonica. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what, so.
Sam's a pure wizard though, when it comes to, like, he can get a tune out of anything. Yeah. He really can.
I mean, it's incredible talent to be able to, you know, like we're saying, cover this many pieces of musical equipment. But you're mentioning the Pogues there, and certainly from my point of view, just as somebody listening to music and listening to you guys for the first time, I feel like that definitely comes through. And are those the sort of bands that have sort of influenced you? Like, who were you listening to growing up?
Well, it was, for me, it was like the Pogues, the Saw Doctors, the Clash, and then when I kind of got into my teenage years, I was right into Green Day and all that, and there was a great kind of punk scene in Glasgow at the time, kind of just before COVID. You know, you could go to a gig every weekend and it would be like amazing tunes. So it's all that kind of stuff that's bled into it, do you know what I mean? But we're careful about, we didn't want to be the Pogues, do you know what I mean? We really didn't. So like we've made it a point that we didn't play any Pogues tunes, which we do, to be fair. But you know, like we want to be our own thing, and we didn't want to just be, you know that we didn't want to just be, but we didn't want to become a kind of show, like a show band. Do you know what I mean? We want to have our own authentic thing going on.
There's a blueprint there, and then like keep going with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, as everyone's doing
that,
now, a lot of bands are doing that now.
There's a good kind of folk, kind of Celtic, Gaelic revival going on.
I was going to mention that because I mean, as well as obviously the fact that the album's coming out, we'll chat about it in a wee minute, but it does seem like a kind of exciting time. You've got bands like, the Mary Wallopers who are everywhere, they're playing festivals, they're, and I'm sure there are many more, but like from your point of view then, to be part of this kind of, it seems like a sort of growing wave, growing in popularity, it must be sensational.
Well, that was it. We'd been on the go for a few years doing it more locally, like around Falkirk, Glasgow. I remember the first time I went to like Aberdeen, we were like, no way, I can't believe it. And then eventually it was the Mary Wallopers that we went on tour with them. As we've toured with them a few times now, it was them that picked us up, and they were like, basically, they didn't say this outright, but they taught us how to do it, you know what I mean? They took us all around the UK and all that and taught us all about how to play these big gigs and be a band and that was amazing, you know what I mean? To see that they believed in us, a band that we liked so much, you know what I mean? So it really is happening now, but we are able to play with so many similar bands and so many folk with the same kind of outlooks and interests as us, you know what I mean? So that's cool.
I was having a wee look and reading, some of the, like, I realised that you guys had sort of toured along with the Mary Wallopers. You've done supporting gigs for The View as well, the Lathoms as well. I was wondering, like, when you're with these bands, do you get a chance to spend time with them, or is it sort of, how does it work?
It depends on the band, because some, I mean, and that's totally understandable, but some bands, you're playing with somebody massive, they're playing a big place, more private, more that, but a lot of your Scottish bands are like Irish bands or that, they're more, like a lot of folk are relaxed and want to hang out and just, let's go for a pint, or let's catch up or that, or maybe write some music together, you know what I mean? It's always a thing, so.
It must be really exciting. I'm interested because I was reading earlier, sort of in terms of you guys, the band biography. There's this sort of real determination to be playing music, singing music, and telling stories in your own voice. And literally in your own voice, sounding like yourself. Like there's a similarity there, I think, anyway, with like a band like The View who kind of been doing that for years.
It's just, it's just about being authentic to us, you know what I mean? It's like, these are the voices that we bloody speak with. It might as well be the voices that we sing with, I know. But I think it's important, for me anyway, to kind of put that stamp on where we're from. There's loads of bands and they all kind of meld into the same kind of thing. And, bands from Scotland that put on American or English accents, I don't understand that personally, do you know what I mean? So we really believe that we're not just like playing tunes, we're trying to get something going here, and to do that we need to be pure authentic with ourselves. So it's all, nothing's made up. There's a few kind of embellishments like
you're from
in the stories.
You can't change that. You've got to represent that, you know what I mean? It's a good thing.
Absolutely, and there's a sort of pride in that as well. What about the name, Brògeal? It's an interesting band name. Where does that come from? What does it mean?
So I don't know about any direct translations, right? So again, that is a wee folk story in itself. It was a story that I got told from a grandparent anyway, that back in the days of like the Scottish Revolution, the 45 and all that, there was periods when the fighting took place and there was periods when it didn't. Like in the winter, it just wasn't very no good conditions for fighting.
No.
So there was a group of guys, and basically they fought for Charlie, but then when they had their winter break almost, they had to make their money somehow, so they would go from town to town, you know, playing songs, having the crack, meeting everybody, and then when spring came they went back to battle.
Yeah,
you
right,
know, so they were called the Brògeal. And that's kind of what we've adopted.
It's fantastic, and it kind of I suppose it suits as well in terms of, you're talking about the origin of the word, but also this idea of travelling from place to place, playing your music, because I know you guys had quite a successful like pub nights and stuff like that back through in Falkirk and what have you.
It's just it fits kind of what we're all about and what we want to do, you know. Just going place to place, having the crack, meeting people. Yeah. You know.
Now I know, like, we always started out with intention of doing like lots of big things, but at the end of the day, at the start, it was playing in the pub in Falkirk, and like it was a night out. You know what I mean? And I remember it's like we never ever went on a night out. It was always like, right, Saturday we're going to play a gig, and that was, you know what I mean. So everyone else was trying to, we'll go here or there, but that was what we were doing.
We still love a pub gig,
we'll always do that. Definitely.
The atmosphere at those must be
amazing,
must be something special. It's brilliant. I'm just thinking there as well. We're talking about a band like The View, talking about Mary Wallopers, you know, who both bands have got Celtic connections in terms of being Celtic supporters, so you guys are another name on that list. Before we talk about the album, let's talk a wee bit about the Celtic connection as well, because you're mentioning there the fact that, you know, you met basically, you know, the co-founder of the band, as it were, on a Celtic supporters bus. You're a big Celtic supporter yourself. You only had to look at you when you were coming up that tunnel and had the Celtic scarf on. It was brilliant to see. But from your point of view, what's your earliest Celtic memory as a supporter?
Oldest. There was an open training day here at Celtic Park, and it would have been the early 2000s. And I remember coming along to that with my father and my uncle. And, you know, the stadium wasn't full. It was almost kind of similar to what it is today, except the players were out training. But still, I just remember the feeling of
just being here for the first time. It's fantastic.
The first game I was at was, I can't remember the season, but it was the last game of the season. We were playing Hearts. We got beat, but we lifted the trophy at the end of the game. It's just something that's always been there, the Celtic, and the amount of people that I've met and that are my pals, and we've all got this wonderful thing in common. It's just, you know what I mean, it's just, the Celtic isn't just a football team, do you know what I mean? It really is just kind of everything to a lot of people. That
kind of community. Again, that probably ties into the way you guys are, and the music that you play and stuff like that, and interact with people. From your point of view, you know, we're talking there, like, I think you would say you're a Celtic supporter. You've been to some games and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it was Daniel, who's not here with us. He's not, I think we did the thing. But Daniel took me to like his season ticket. His dad's seat, I think they have 2 seats of that, so he'd always have a spare seat beside him sometimes. So he's took me to games in here. He's kind of like, these boys are always talking about that. And I'm maybe not the most massive football fan or anything, but like living in Glasgow and that for the last few years, and it's like, I mean, you see the impact it has on the city, and it's massive. Like it's everything. You know what I mean? Like you say, it's awesome.
You're an adopted Celtic supporter.
I think I maybe be. Yeah.
He's got a couple taps.
He's got a few tops as well. Good man. Well, I'm always intrigued though as well, from your point of view, having come to the games through the years and followed Celtic. Who's the best Celtic player that you've ever seen?
Well, is it the best player I've seen and my favourite player?
Two different. That's good.
I think the best player has to be Van Dijk.
Right.
That wee while when we had Van Dijk and Denier at the back, there was just nothing going through them, and I sat kind of right on the goal line down there. It was safe as houses. When that ball came out of the tap, one of them was going to get to it. But my favourite player that I've seen with my own eyes is Sammy, Georgios Samaras. I just think he was brilliant. Well, he wasn't sometimes, but he just had like such a character about him. And when he wanted to score a pure world class goal, he just would. Yeah. He would put his fag down and, you know, bicycle kick it into the top corner.
Absolutely.
There was so much flair about him, and he just seemed like a good guy. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, totally. Good answers.
I'll say mine as well, just for the now. Half my family are Canadian, so Alistair Johnson playing the now.
Super.
Unreal.
They must be loving that.
Oh, aye, it's cool.
He's doing well for
it's cool seeing, it's cool seeing like Canada flags all darted about the stadium.
Yeah.
Cool. Like,
nice one. Brilliant. Well, let's move on to the album, because it's coming out October 17th, Tuesday, Paper Club. I was reading that you recorded on the Isle of Lewis. Is that right? I mean, how, why did you decide to go away and take yourself sort of out the road, and do you think that that's kind of added anything to the process of recording the album?
Yes, man. It was a kind of wee miracle that came to play. We were kind of a wee bit trying to find something, but we knew we wanted to like get away. We didn't want there to be a pub or a town anywhere near us, because it would just kind of, we wanted to get right in about it and really concentrate. So it just so happened that this studio had a cancellation the exact weeks that we needed to go up. So it was a wee miracle there. Took ourselves up and just got right involved in the process. You know, there wasn't many distractions at all. And then we also managed to like use kind of wee flavours of the island and of the environment and put them into the record, so that, you know, hopefully when people are listening to it, they kind of almost feel like they were there with us. You know, so it's like sounds for the ferry and the sheep that would just run by.
Recording guitars outside and that, standing on an island, you know what I mean, things like that. It was like you said, every big studio seems to be in big cities, London and all that, hustle and bustle, but it's not really a place sometimes to focus and that. I mean, you get away, so that officially, I think Black Bay Studio is in LS. I think that's the most isolated recording studio in the whole UK or something like that. That's officially what it is. You're like 45 to 50 minute drive to the shop. You know what I mean? So it's like total, like just used. So it's us, you've got beds in one of the rooms, studio in the next room, and then like kitchen in there. And we're all like total living on top of each other, but in the best kind of way. You know what I mean? Just living, doing it and that.
There's such stunning places. Like, I've been very fortunate enough to see some of the sort of Western Island, the island of Scotland, but you're right, that the remoteness really, from the minute you get there, you know you're quite a long way away from home. But as a group, as a band, like that, you must. Did it help sort of bring everybody even closer together?
The only thing that was happening was that music. You know what I mean? It really was. So it was like when that was done, you'd go outside. It's like the northern lights above you. Or you'd see some like animal, like a stag, run past you or something. It was so quiet and that. It's like for us to be there together. That was all we were talking about. This album, let's record.
You can't help but kind of be inspired by kind of what's about you, because it was so striking and all that. And to be fair, there wasn't any major fallouts. I was winding him up a fair bit, but like nothing major.
Everybody got through it unscathed.
We're all pals when we went home.
We've been together longer than that. That was like a wee holiday, you know?
It was amazing.
It's excellent. I'm really looking forward to obviously hearing the album when it comes out. But even in the meantime, before the release, I had a look earlier at the tour schedule, or the schedule of gigs. You're pretty busy. You're going all around about Europe. It must be a really exciting time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's unbelievable, man. It's like, it's no lost on us, you know. We're extremely grateful and fortunate, but it's just, it's bananas, man.
We're away, like we've been touring like a lot for like kind of years now, and you look, like you say, you look at the what's to come, and it's like, I'm going to have to phone my mom and be like, see you later. I'm away.
I'll send you a postcard.
We're playing in Paris for the first time.
Aye.
And then the gig after Paris is Falkirk.
Aye, the day after.
It's going to be nuts.
It was incredible. What have you got a top venue or a top gig that you've done so far?
You know what, Amsterdam's pretty tasty. Like
the Netherlands, the Dutch folk are really cool.
I was saying that Whelan's in Dublin, that was my favourite one. You know, I had all my cousins from Dublin came down to see it, and it was rammed, and you know, Dublin's like a really special place to me, so just to fill out a venue in Dublin and they're all singing the words back at you, honestly mind-blowing stuff. Like
I'm just thinking one as well, mentioned Mary Wallopers, we got a wee shot of the Barrowlands, we supported them, Barrowlands just at Christmas, and that's, you know,
you always hear about that. It's kind of obviously it's such a special place, but as a performer, you know, being on that stage,
it's just it goes without saying, it's just like awesome. Glasgow, you know,
similar kind of thing though. See, when we were there during the day and it was empty, a bit like Celtic Park now, it's a total different atmosphere. You can hear all
there's a kind of feel to the place, isn't there? There's something special. We're going to round up. We're going to let you guys break out the instruments in a wee minute here, but I'm curious because things are on the up and up. You know, you're doing these wonderful gigs, travelling around about Europe. What's the ultimate ambition? What's the ultimate goal for you guys?
Well, when it was the Dutch radio that we spoke to, talking about that, they asked us, so you're trying world domination, when will this be happening? So by the sounds of it, it may be world domination.
I mean, I would, that, you know, why not?
Why not?
We want to be the biggest and the best.
You heard it here first, Brògeal, world domination. Looking forward to seeing it, but you're going to play as
in a positive way.
A positive way, all positive. You're going to play a couple of songs for us. What are the tunes that we're going to be treated to?
So we'll do our latest single, Go Home to Your Bed, and then we will do the Lonesome Boatman.
Superb. Looking forward to that. Well, listen, thanks very much for coming in today. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, and best of luck with the upcoming album. Okay.
Thanks very much.
And thank you very much for watching or listening to this episode of the official Celtic FC podcast with Brògeal. Keep up to date on all their social media channels with what's going on with the band, and of course, as always, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. The boys are going to give us a couple of songs now, so thank you very much, and hail hail.
Go home to your bed, bonny laddie, oh. Go and lie down and rest with the world behind you, oh. The birds circle round like an old crown of thorns on your head, and the sky it is black as the ravens out haunting the dead. But I will be at the foot of your bed, and I will wait there till morning. You'll feel my hand on your forehead. The night will go and the day will come, just to wait for the sun. Falaki done lappy, I guess, Balabo, Falavis like yes, I guess Gafos, but I'll still be at the foot of your bed. I'll be there every morning. You'll feel my hand on your forehead. The night will go and our day will come. For you are my son,